Hey YouTube, how's it going? Today's video is a special one. I've been working on this for like a week or so I hope you enjoy. But anyways, I'm going to be giving my honest opinions, thoughts, and assessments of the Bear TV show that aired from 2022 to 2026 and how I consider the show to be one of, if not the best drama comedy show of the 2010s or of all time. So, let's get started with the show's background. The Bear first aired on FX on June 23rd, 2022, and is a drama comedy created by Christopher Storer. I believe that's how you say his name. Hopefully, I didn't butcher it. Christopher Storer created the show with the help from his sister, longtime chef Courtney Storer, to show the chaotic nature of working in a kitchen, combining themes of grief, burnout, mental health issues, highly dysfunctional families, and the mental anguish caused by the need to be perfect, but also themes of family and working together under pressure, and the family isn't always blood. It follows Carmen Brzado, aka Carmi, a world class chef who has worked at restaurants such as Ever, coming back home to Chicago to take his older brother's sandwich shop that he obtained after his brother commits suicide and tries to save it and turn it into a fine dining restaurant. But with the shop being financially on the brink of collapse and everything else about it falling apart and the staff not quite ready to change, things are tough at first as he finds himself struggling to balance all of it also while dealing with grief, PTSD, and the need to be in control. Now on to my review slash assessment, the cast. The cast is filled with such amazing talent, such as Jeremy Allen White, who played Carmi, the main character, also from Shameless, he played Lip, who comes home with so much baggage and trauma and trying to save this restaurant all while going on this journey throughout the show to be a better emotionally available person and to move on from his past and to really grow as a person and see what he wants to do with his life. Ayo Edebiri, who plays Sydney, who is his second in command. She's this young, hungry chef who has also, done some work of her own at restaurants and stuff like that, and is actually a fan of Carmen's and looks up to him and wants to be, the best that she can be and really wants to make this thing work, not just for herself, but like to show that she is as good as she thinks she is. Abby Elliott, who plays Natalie or Sugar Brazado, his sister who tries to hold the business together by looking at the books and being in charge of getting logistics and repairs done and such and hiring people and all that. Ebon Moss Bachrock, who you don't know is the guy who plays Thing also in Fantastic Four, is Carmi and Sugar's cousin. He ran the restaurant with Carmi's brother Mike and wants the restaurant to succeed as he has nothing else going for him since, he's divorced and he has his daughter, but he doesn't see her as much. And, he's in his 40s and he feels like he's not living life the way he really wants to. There's Oliver Platt, who plays Uncle Jimmy. He's Carmy and Sugar's uncle, but not their biological uncle, but he's been around their entire lives as he was friends with their father, who walked out on them and kind of put them in some of the dysfunction that they're in. Well, not some, a lot of the dysfunction that the family ends up being in. And he is the financial backer for the Bear, even though it really puts him in a bad situation by the end of the show. But I mean, he really was trying his best. We had Lisa Cologne Zayos, who plays Tina, who is a rough and tough worker for the Bear, who, like Richie, Sugar, and the rest of the crew, have been trying to hold it together since Mike, Carmi's brother, was alive and running the beef. Tina also represents the older working class deciding not to give up and follow their dreams, as she went from being, like, I think, a payroll person who got fired, and Mike, offered her a job when she was having a bad day and came to the shop and was crying and all that. So, and she was talking about how she was like, the world is getting kind of interesting, how the younger crowd is so hungry and all stuff like that. And they're out there and they're getting it. And she's like, she just wants to really do something. So Lionel Boyce Marcus is a pastry chef who wants to let his creative ideas inspire his desserts and help make the bear what it is. Going through his own version of Lost in the show later on, you can see how he processes grief as well as also chasing this dream of not letting the bear die. Because pretty much for every character, the bear is like their only chance at true success or happiness, I guess. Molly Gordon, she is Claire, Carmi's love interest, a little bit into the show. She's a nurse and she's really kind of what helps jumpstart Carmi's character development and wanting to kind of change and not be so antisocial and so hurt and all this and that. Other characters are like the Fack family, Sweeps, Mike, Donna, and all those add to the chaos, which sometimes is hilarious, but it's still chaotic. I mean, the show is constantly pulling at your strings and making your anxiety race and everything like that because that is what it's supposed to do. Um, the themes. It deals with high intensity situations, especially in the kitchen of a restaurant, deals with grief and how losing someone affects everyone, deals with the wants of absolute perfection and obsession and how that can be unhealthy, deals with family, the good, the bad, and the ugly of family, deals with the job market and how older people are losing out on opportunities to the younger crowds, and overall, it's about mental health and it's about how no matter what age you are, no matter who you are, no matter what your background is, everybody's going through something. Everybody's stressed. Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to conquer something, wants to overcome something, wants to make something great, and wants to live happy and be in peace and all stuff like that. And this is a show for people who are, showcasing people that are going through such craziness and how they're able to deal with it and overcome it and really make something beautiful by the end of the show. So overall, this show awoke something in me. And I know that sounds cliche, but I really felt like I was Carmi and that this was me on this journey, this painful, stress-filled journey, and how his friends, family, dreams, all of that changed him and molded him and made him realize by the end of the show what he needed to do and to become to be a better version of himself. And it made him realize, and it made me realize, I'm sorry, that I had to change as well. And I'm still trying to figure out because I no longer want to be perfect or obsessed with so much and expecting things right away. It's not healthy. And the show helps someone like me who has been through some crazy shit, which has caused me to be on the verge of breaking, see that maybe there is a way, maybe there is a chance for peace. And for me, that's all I want is peace. The show gets a 10 out of 10 from me. It's beautiful. Like I said, it's chaotic, but there's also great moments of just, well, good comedic timing, but great moments of just these people coming together still at the end of their shifts, at the end of the episodes, at the end of whatever, and knowing that, okay, they're still together, they're still friends, they're still this family despite it all, and that they're all conquering the doubts, the sadness, the depression, the grief, everything. They're just doing it together. And that's what makes it beautiful. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, a comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments who's your favorite character off of The Bear. What was your favorite moment, favorite scene? For me, I think my favorite scene, because like I said, it's what really made me realize, yo, Carmi is basically just like me, was when he was in the refrigerator stuck and he said all that stuff out loud and what's her name? Claire heard him and all that. So that's probably my favorite scene. Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. And as always, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.